Welcome to this week's edition of Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Kiera Parham.
And I'm Hannah Hickman. Thanks for tuning in.
As of this morning, Utah has had 52,822 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Statewide, the death toll has reached 410. As of this week, there are 5 confirmed COVID-19 cases among DSU's student, faculty, and staff, all of whom are self-isolating. Since May, DSU has had a total of 22 confirmed and recovered cases.
An anonymous Dixie State faculty member is speaking out against the university and its response to COVID-19. While there are policies in place to reduce the spread of the virus on campus, she learned that educators would not be notified if any of their students tested positive for COVID-19. DSU has responded, stating that due to HIPAA, that they are not allowed to share which student tested positive. The university also stated that staff and students will only be notified after an exposure risk or when an infected student is closer than 6 feet without wearing a mask for longer than 15 minutes.
Students who have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic may be eligible for financial assistance, but those who are interested need to apply by September 7th. Applicants must be enrolled at least 6 degree-seeking credits and have filled out the 2020 to 2021 FAFSA application in order to be considered. The CARES Act funding application is located in your MyDixie account.
Donations are being gathered for students who were affected by last Sunday's flooding. At least 100 students were displaced from housing. The flash flood destroyed living accommodations as well as personal belongings. Monetary donations for students can be made by texting DSU Flood to 71777. Item-based donations can be dropped off at the front desk of True by Hilton at 1251 South Sunland Drive.
We've heard from both faculty and staff about the coronavirus, but I decided to go ask students how they felt about the changes to campus. Returning students, this is not normal. Wearing masks around campus and having to protect yourself at all costs and staying 6 feet away. However, for the freshmen, this is their new norm. We went ahead and talked to some students about how they feel about their first week of school.
Kind of easier for me since everyone's learning how to do a new thing, but I'm still learning how to do the college thing. So I didn't go from this way of college to another way of college. This is the only way of college that I know. So I don't think it's as hard as compared to returning students.
Returning students have a memory of what their campus used to be like. But for freshman students, this will be their first memory of college, masked up while half of their classmates are unmasked at home.
It was good. I thought it was a little bit different than what I was thinking, being on campus a lot more versus half of my classes are online. So it's a little bit different, but I appreciate how all the professors are really accommodating the students. And I feel for me it's been a good experience all around because I can really tell that they care.
Not only does the professors care, but so does the clubs and organizations. They're following CDC, state, and university guidelines to ensure all students are safe and still able to participate at a distance.
So it's based on the room and on how we can space or practicing the 6 feet difference, 6 feet or more, and wearing masks.
Masks are required on campus and in the classrooms. The university will continue to reevaluate in-person and distant learning as the pandemic continues. With these safety precautions, students are ensured to have an active learning as well as an active life. And as the university continues to evaluate the situation, we will keep you updated on all the need to know on DixieSunNews.com.
On average, one person dies by suicide every 13 hours in Utah. Suicide is also the leading cause of death in Utah for 10 to 24-year-olds. Because of this, the Booth Wellness Center will be hosting a Suicide Prevention Week. Starting on Monday, the center will provide stress-reducing activities such as chalk art and are hosting an Out of the Darkness walk. You can also sign up for a formal suicide prevention training on Friday.
Controversy over the name Dixie has been a discussion of topic. Some people in the community say keep it and others say take it away. Well, an emergency faculty vote was held to discuss the issues, and the votes were in favor of changing Dixie's name. Dixie has hired a consultant to do surveys and focus groups to see if the name change is needed. We will keep you updated when more details are to come.
A solar wind turbine built by Dixie State students will now help power the community. The turbine was created by the 3X Green Company, which is a part of DSU's Atwood Innovation Plaza. As part of a partnership between DSU and Dixie Power, the turbine will be connected and put to use at the Dixie Power Grid on River Road.
A hike in the Narrows sounds perfect in this 100-degree weather. But National Park rangers are warning visitors to stay out of the Virgin River. Earlier this year, scientists discovered a toxic bacteria in the Virgin River, which has now grown to extreme levels. Currently, the water in Springdale is being tested daily for bacteria also known as anatoxic A.
The town of Pine Valley is an outdoor retreat for those looking to get away from the roaring temperatures and population of St. George. Dixie Sun reporter Stephanie Dupar has more.
Pine Valley is only 40 minutes north of St. George, but it feels a world away from the hustle and the bustle of the city, from the desert heat and the red rock, making it the perfect escape for college students.
Pine Valley itself is pretty easy to navigate to from St. George. Simply head northwest, make one turn, and you're there. Unless, of course, you want to stop at the infamous Veo Pie shop along the way. I always recommend getting a slice of the Veo volcano pie and taking that with you to enjoy at the reservoir. Once you've reached your destination, you can visit historical buildings and even an ice cream shop. But the main attraction is the reservoir, which is the perfect place to fish, hike, and camp. Admission to the reservoir is only $6, which is pretty doable for any college student. Once inside, you can choose from a variety of hikes. You can picnic, hammock, fish, camp, or if you stay late enough, stargaze away from light-polluted skies. Just make sure to bundle up. Pine Valley is on average 20 degrees colder than St. George, and it even snows in the winter, which brings with it a whole new set of activities. For those of you looking to venture even farther off the beaten path, there is a rope swing located off a dirt road just before you make it to town. If you're really looking to get away from people, this could be your spot, as the reservoir does get crowded on weekends.
For Dixie Sun News, I'm Stephanie Dupar.
Here's also a quick safety tip for your staycation. There is limited phone service in Pine Valley, so make sure to let someone know where you are and when you are going.
You know, I personally think that it's amazing that they have Pine Valley. However, I'm afraid to be away from my cell phone and service.
I think it's a great escape from school. It definitely is a staycation. I think it's perfect.
Definitely. After the break, we will have Dixie Sun producer Stephanie Dupar sitting down with Leonardo Lupiano to talk about DSU's new legal clinic.
I have a backpack.
请所有的同学回到座位哈。3。
Get our print career. And there's the bottom.
Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why? Careful.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms. This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sage brushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Turn, please. Ready? Sodium carbonate.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back. I'm Stephanie Dupar, and I'm sitting down with Leonardo Lupiano to speak about DSU's new legal clinic. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here.
So I guess we'll just get right into it. So what is the legal clinic? How does this work on campus?
So the legal clinic is a free student service that was created to offer legal advice to DSU students. So we're going to have lawyers come to campus and meet with the students once a month. So it's going to happen the second Wednesday of every month. So next week we're going to have our first one. So very excited about that. And the meetings are going to be like 20 minutes long. And like I said, it's all free.
So what's the typical kind of process for a student looking to go to the clinic and looking for help?
So they just have to go to our page on BlazerLink. So just look up Legal Clinic and then fill out the form. It's the intake form. The information is all confidential. Only the lawyers are going to see it. So then we set up a time. They just have to show up, and that's pretty much it.
So that you're really abiding by that COVID guideline right now, or it's
Yes.
just like that one-on-one?
Yes.
So how did this legal clinic come to be? Kind of what was that process of creating it and getting it to where it is now?
So over the past few years, a lot of students have been contacting the Dean of Students and other university staff about legal issues. So that's when they realized that there was a need for a legal clinic. So then Taylor, the student body president from last year, she started working on it. And then once I heard about that problem, I decided to offer help and just to join the whole process. And then we got to meet with the Southern Utah Bar Association. We proposed the idea. They were very supportive. So yeah, so it's like through a partnership with the Southern Utah Bar Association.
So why should students come to this clinic on campus instead of reaching out to other legal associations in town?
So, first, it's on campus. They don't have to go anywhere. It's already here. The lawyers are going to come here. It's free. And the only requirement is that they need to be a student. Usually, they're going to ask for, finance, financial information, that kind of thing. Here, you just have to be a student and just show up, like I said.
So what was your role in creating this? So you said that you worked with Taylor a little bit.
Yes.
So how are you instrumental in creating the clinic?
So I've been involved with pretty much everything, from creating the flyers and promoting the legal clinic to meeting with the lawyers and proposing the idea. So right now I have Holly Webb from the Southern Utah Bar Association. She's a paralegal. She's going to be here for every session. But yeah, I feel like I've done a little bit of everything.
Okay, just helping around,
Yeah.
all around. So with this lawyer that you just spoke about, are there going to be more than one lawyers present? Is it just one? And then
Yes.
what opportunity do you see for growth? Do you see expanding it and maybe more than once a month?
So different lawyers are going to come every time because we want to make sure that we cover all of the issues that students might need. So, and it's important to say that they are volunteering their time, so we really appreciate that. And yes, we do see room for growth. We would like to offer this at least maybe twice a month, but that relies a lot on demand. So we want the students to use the service. To meet with the lawyers is very expensive, so it's great that they agreed to come here and meet with the students for free.
I absolutely agree. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like to mention about the clinic?
I just wanted to say thank you to the Southern Utah Bar Association. They've been great. Like I said, Holly, she's been great. And I've been working with Penny Mills too, the new student body president, and she's been amazing, very helpful. So like I said, I just want the students to come, use the service. The more they use it, the more services that we can provide. So yeah, so I think that's it.
I'm really happy that you mentioned both Taylor and Penny, because I feel like sometimes the students, we can look at our student body presidents and not really know what's going on behind the scenes. So it's great to see something that they worked on actually come to fruition and that students can really take advantage of. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
When we come back after the break, Michael Sanoskoy will have a breakdown on all you need to know about fall sports.
I have a backpack.
请所有的同学回到座位哈。3。
Heather, get our print career. And there's the bottom.
Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why? Careful.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms. This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sagebrush, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Sodium carbonate.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back. Those who are anticipating men's tennis to debut this year will have to wait a while longer. The ECU Athletic Director Jason Booth announced last week that men's tennis program is being delayed until the 2024-25 season. The brand new sports program had to be put on pause because of the pandemic, cancellation of fall sports, reduced revenues, and the uncertainty of collegiate athletic competition for spring. An unfortunate turn of events for the men's tennis program. On a lighter note, women's swim and men's and women's basketball are still slated to begin their seasons in November, marking the first Trailblazer athletic programs to compete in the new Division I era. The DSU football team came to the rescue twice to save two women who were in need of help. The first woman was climbing down Dixie Rock on August 7th, and she got her hair tangled on the rope, putting herself in a bad situation hanging from the cliff. The football team was quick to react to helping this woman and getting her to safety. Then on the night of the flash flood on August 23rd, 4 DSU football players saw a woman get swept underneath a car and they rushed to help her. The players lifted the car enough to help the woman escape, and a fire truck soon showed up to take her to the hospital to treat her injuries. Talk about being there for those in need at the right time and earning that hero label. With DSU athletics out of the picture, intramurals are still a go, and here are the sports that will start soon. There's co-ed flag football, men's and women's 4-versus-4 sand volleyball, co-ed 6-on-6 outdoor soccer, and inter-2 water polo. All the information regarding registration due dates, captains meetings, days played, and registration fee can be found at recreation.dixie.edu/intramurals. Talk about water polo, right? That sounds really interesting.
You know, I am curious on how this whole inner tube water polo works, because you're supposed to be on the ground, right?
Yeah, well, I would assume so, right?
I think it's going to be interesting this year as well with not having as many sports and seeing if there's going to be a bigger turnout for intramurals, audience-wise, and you know, participants as well.
Yeah, I would say it's 50-50 as well. Like, people want to play, at the same time they want to stay safe and stay home and stay safe.
I just want to give a kudos to the football team, because that's heroic. Like,
yes,
I gotta say,
applause to
when I saw that video, my mouth literally dropped. Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's it for this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at noon.
We will see you here next week, same time, same place.
Have a great week.